What's up, student leaders? Let's go. I'm so excited that you're just tuning into this video. We kind of had some discussion about the Barking Lounger quote, wherever it came from. Maybe you're there again, I don't know. Maybe you got tired of Netflix or Hulu and you decided to tune into this YouTube video. If that's the case, I really place a high value. Like, man, you think I'm just as good as Netflix or Hulu, right? I'm just kidding, but I'm glad that you're tuning into the video. Thank you so much. What I wanted to do is I just wanted to kind of give you a different perspective on what you do as a group leader. We talk about all the time, we set these expectations about being faithful, knowing your kid's name, salvation story, baptism story, all of this types of stuff. We've talked about being a part of fellowships and planning fellowships and the expectations that we put on you as a small group leader in the student ministry. And all those things are true, right? But I want to share our mission and our vision and our value with you. And then what I want to do is I kind of want to I don't want to recreate something new, and I'm trying to struggle with how to word this to you. I just want to kind of present something to you to give you a different way of thinking about what you do. I want you to think through these things, and it might be easy for you to remember, and if so, that's totally fine. But I just want you to use these three things I want to tell you just to kind of support what we're already talking about in regards to our mission, vision, values, and the expectations that we have. So, right, our mission is to make and equip disciples of Jesus Christ who love, lead, and serve. I believe that looks like this in this video, me to you, and then you to me. And I also believe it looks like when you come and lead your small group that you're making and equipping disciples, whether you feel like it or not. I know there's sometimes when you're in your group and you're like, boom, that was awesome. It was a great message. It was a great small group time with kids, had a fun time. And you're like, boom. And then there's other times you're like, man, nobody talked, nobody did anything. I was super awkward. Listen, whatever side of the spectrum you're on, you are making disciples and equipping them by just being present. It speaks volumes. Your presence speaks volumes. So make and equip disciples of Jesus Christ who love, lead, and serve. That's our mission, right? Then our vision is this, that we as a team are going to capture the hearts of students so they feel loved, supported, and pointed to Jesus at every turn. So that we want them to feel loved, right? We're in this new building. A lot of us are new leaders. We want our students to feel loved. We want them to feel supported, right? We want them to feel like even when they're doing great or even when they're messing up, that we're there for them, that we're supporting them. And we want them to be pointed to Jesus at every turn. Some of our students are going to be transitioning from 8th grade into freshman year of high school. Some are going to be transitioning out of high school into college. And we want them to look at us and us be pointing them to Jesus the way that we live and by our word. So our mission, our vision, and then our value is that we value every student. Every student that comes on our campus, we're going to value them. We're going to make them a priority, but we're also going to value every student that is not here. What does it look like for us to go to baseball games or softball games or cheer tournaments or whatever is going on? How can we value students that we know, but also leverage that to value students that we don't know? We are a student ministry that values every student. And what I want to do right now with three simple things is I want to present to you a way for you to look at your group through a different filter. I believe that you can boil down what you do in a small group in three things. I think a small group, you reach, you teach, and you minister. You reach, you teach, and you minister. Those three things, if that is inside your group, I believe you're encompassing our values and our vision and our mission. And so I want to break those down for you. If you're in a small group and you're a small group leader, the first thing that I think you got to do is you got to reach. You got to be able to reach your students, and you got to be able to reach other students, right? And you can see right there the value of every student. And what I mean by that is this: you've got to be able to reach the students that you know. Maybe the student that isn't showing up in the past 2 or 3 weeks, or they've kind of fallen off, or they're kind of disengaged just mentally. They're not in. You got to be able to reach them, to talk to them, engage them, text them appropriately with another small group leader, another adult, and you're just reaching out to them, say, hey, where are you? What's going on? Are you okay? How can I help? How can I pray for you? You're reaching them, but you're also able to motivate the students that you have to reach other students. What does it look like for that 6th grade girl or that 8th grade guy to hear what you have to say in small group and then go back on Thursday and reach their classroom for Jesus? That is reaching every student, even the ones we don't know, right? So as a small group leader, you're to reach. The next thing you're to do is you're to teach. Now, you're not teaching necessarily like an entire lesson that you've prepped and come up with and that you've got your points and you're ready to roll. What you're doing is you're teaching from what was already presented. You're facilitating discussion, and you have the platform and the ability for when students ask questions to teach them the way of Jesus, right? Because think about what Cody does and what I do on stage. We're teaching God's word, and it's a one-way conversation. We are communicating to you and the students. But what you are doing is you're allowing the students to communicate to you, and you have the most important responsibility in that moment to teach them the way of Jesus. So you're reaching, you're teaching, and then you're ministering. We've said this I've said this since day one, since I've been here, is that students don't care about what you have to say until they know that you care about them, right? You've got to minister to your students. We've got to know when their birthdays are. We got to be there when their grandparent dies. We've got to be there when the diagnosis comes in their family. We got to be there when the parents split up. We've got to be there when they don't make the team. We've got to be there when they do make the team. We've got to be there for these students. We've got to minister to them. And so I want you, as you come up in the next couple of small groups in the following weeks, as we're about to dive into the book of Philippians, I want you to look at your small group through that lens, to reach, teach, and minister. What are you doing in the reach category? What are you doing in the teach category? What are you doing in the minister category? Because I believe if we're doing those three things, we're valuing every student. If we're reaching, teaching, and ministering, we're capturing the hearts of students so they feel loved, supported, and pointed to Jesus at every turn. If we are reaching, teaching, and ministering, we're making and equipping disciples of Jesus Christ who love, lead, and serve. We do those three things, we're going to live out our values, our vision, and our mission. Student leaders, I'm so thankful for you. I'm humbled to be on the team with you. And if there's anything that you need from me or Cody, please don't hesitate to reach out. Know that we are praying for you. Know that we're expecting God to do incredible things through you and in you. And we are excited to see what happens this week and the weeks to come. See you soon.